Hello, everybody. It's Norma, and I am here today a little bit excited, but very sad at the same time because this is probably my last candle haul for Henri Bendel. At least it will be for 2018. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be able to do one more before 2019, by 2019 January. Because in case you haven't heard, Henri Bendel is closing permanently. They're closing all their stores and they're closing all their online stores. And I think if you're like a real big Henri Bendel fan, you already know this. They did announce it in September. It was in the news. But if you're like a random shopper and you don't keep up with things like that, this may be totally new to you. In fact, I know when I was at the store today, the phone was ringing off the hook with people calling, like, "Are you guys really closing? Are you guys really closing?" And they would say, "Yes, we really are." And it's like, "Really? Are you telling me the truth?" I mean, it's just coming as a shock to so many people. As you know, Henri Bendel is owned by L Brands, which also owns Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works and a few other companies. And they've decided to focus their marketing on the more profitable companies. And Henri Bendel's it's a luxury brand. And over the years, I've noticed a change, and I haven't really been with them that long, to tell you the truth. Just a few years, and I've even noticed that their marketing has been geared more for younger people. Some of the items that I bought approximately 4 years ago, I think were even a little bit higher quality than the stuff I see in the store today. So I guess it's not a surprise, but it's still very sad. I mean, they're an iconic brand. They've been around for a long time. I've really enjoyed their candles. I'm sad to see this whole iconic Henri Bendel thing go away. Now, as far as the candles are concerned, because they are owned by L Brands, and L Brands owns Bath and Body Works, fingers crossed, maybe some of our favorite fragrances will cross over into Bath and Body Works someday, somehow. I don't know. All I can tell you is when they had that $5 cashmere candle for Victoria's Secrets a couple years ago, and I went to almost every mall in town, scooping up what I could find for $5 cashmere. I don't regret that at all right now because I love it to this day. So anyway, yesterday in my Facebook group, one of my members, I'll give him a shout out, Kevin, posted that the stores were having a second candle day. Now, normally Henri Bendel has a candle day in November, and I did go and I did post my haul. I think I did. Maybe not. I forget. I have to check. I only bought 2 candles, so I might not have posted a haul. But they had a second candle day, which I don't know how I did not know about this. I didn't get an email. It was totally took me by surprise. If I had found out like in the morning, I would definitely have gone during my lunch hour, but I found out late afternoon, and there was no way I was going to face that mall after work a week before Christmas. This mall where the Henri Bendel store is like the busiest mall in probably the metro area. The malls near me, they get traffic, but you can always find parking. This mall, you got to drive around 20 minutes trying to find a place to park. And there was no way I was going to go there the week before Christmas. But I went today, and it was crazy. It was busy. I'd never seen a store like this before. Now, my particular store is slated to close on January 19th. If you are lucky enough to live near a store, you need to call and find out when your store is closing. Kevin told me his store is closing on January 5th, and they have staggered dates all the way up through January 20th. And everything closes by January 21st, even the online store. So I didn't know what was going on with my store, so I said, well, I had originally had planned on going to check out the sales after New Year's. And I was like, wow, if my store closes January 5th, I'm going to be too late. It's going to be picked over. So I decided to go today. Now, they are going to close on January 19th. If you guys are in Michigan area, I'm talking about Somerset Mall in Troy. The closing date, January 19th. Now, I was a little bit disappointed that I missed out on the Candle Day sale, which was yesterday, because they had all the 3-wick candles at $15. But before I made the decision not to go, I called the store because I was really interested in seeing if they had any more of the 3-wick candles in Suite 712. When I was there for Candle Day, I had asked about the candle, if they had any more in stock, and they said they had 7 left, but they weren't out because they weren't part of the sale. And then I totally forgot to go back and get them. So when I called yesterday, they said, no, we have our second Candle Day sale, they sold out. So they must have put them out sometime yesterday, and boom, people grabbed them. So I said, well, I'm going to go anyway, because there was another candle that I was really curious about. When I went there for Candle Day, I saw this candle called Balsam Hideaway. And when I picked it up and sniffed it, my first gut reaction was, this is a remake, a redo of this candle here, Rhubarb and Balsam. And then, as you might do when you're going to a store where there's a candle sale, you start sniffing other candles. And I kept coming back to this Balsam Hideaway. And I was like, every time I smelled it, I was smelling something different. And I was like, I'm not really sure. And so the more I smelled it, the more it smelled different to me. And I was like, I just don't know. So I end up not purchasing any, which now I regret, because I am convinced this is the exact same candle as Rhubarb and Balsam. It is just packaged differently. When I started thinking about it, after I left the Candle Day sale back in November, I was like, man, I think it's the same candle. So it took me a little bit of time to figure out what the scent notes were for Rhubarb and Balsam. I actually had to go to my old video where I hauled it, and I did have the scent notes there. So the scent notes are exactly the same. The packaging is different, but the scent notes are exactly the same. I think any variance in the scent is probably just due to it being a different batch, but I'm convinced it's 100% the same. So if you guys like Rhubarb and Balsam, go get yourself some Balsam Hideaway. I only picked up 3 this time because I wasn't exactly sure if it was the same, but I was 100%. Well, not 100%, but I am now. I mean, I'm smelling the 2 candles, and like I said, they don't smell like 100% identical, but I think the difference is just the batch difference. I mean, sometimes I smell a little bit more of the tart citrus rhubarb in here, and in this one I smell maybe a little bit more of the fir, but I think they're identical. I think it's just a repackage. But my big find of the day was, even though my store did not have the Suite 712 and the 3-wick, they had them in the votive set, which I was so excited to see. I mean, I almost didn't even see this because they weren't with the candles. They were with the perfume. And, they were just these 3 boxes sitting there like so unassuming. And I looked and I did a double take, and I was like, oh my God. Because this is almost even better than the 3-wicks, because these little votives throw such a punch that when I finally did get a 3-wick, I was afraid to burn it because I thought it was going to blow me out of the house. But I actually think somehow the votives are just as strong or stronger than the actual 3-wick candle. So I will post the scent description of both of these scents, in the description box for my video, in case you've never tried these scents and you're interested in them, or if you love these scents and you just want the scent description for posterity, because like I said, Henri Bendel is closing their doors for good January 2019. So sad. Well, that was my little haul. It may be my last haul. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe below, and have a blessed day.